Hey everyone, this is Gary Kay, and I have a special edition, COVID-19 edition of my Rants and Rave podcast. Actually, this is a great time to have TJ Trojan and Sandi Stambaugh on with me. TJ is a senior vice president, Sandi's VP at Synnex, both heavily involved in both the rAVe and the collaboration industry. And it's a good time to have you both on because you're good bellwethers for the industry in light of what's going on with COVID-19. How are you navigating COVID-19 pandemic in terms of supporting your team and your customers, of course, with everything how it's changed?
You want to start, Sandi?
I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, good to see you. I'm glad you're well. The first priority for all of us really is to make sure that our partners and especially our associates are safe. And we even though we are providing essential services to organizations that really need them, and I would say, we always talk about the fact that what we're doing is providing solutions that help people be more productive. But more now than ever, we take a lot of satisfaction in the fact that we are really helping a lot of folks move very quickly into technologies, work from home environments, essential services and health and education to really help people through this, through this situation. So that's true with our employees and associates as well as our partners. So on the partner side, we very quickly went to or I should say on the associate side, we very quickly went to a work from home environment. And can't say how much we appreciate all of our IT team, all the work they did, because they did it very quickly, man.
I can't imagine how hard that was for a company your size.
Well, and from what we hear from our partners, we did it much more flawlessly than most folks did. We're keeping very engaged with our team as well as our partners to make sure that that we know what's going on, that they know what's going on, that internally, we're communicating about what products available, what we're seeing in the market, talking to our partners and customers about what they're seeing and helping them, transition through really a difficult time.
And Sandi, I'm curious because obviously the market has shifted. What products have you seen increase over the past 2 weeks specifically, especially since all this has really kind of settled down and people are actually working from home? I feel like the first week was adjusting to working from home, and then now the last 3 weeks has been actually working from home.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the first wave was very much work from home and any gear associated with that and personal productivity. So everything from, anything with a keyboard, speakers and, cameras and, large format displays or desktop displays and that type of thing. And kind of this next wave has been more, focused on things like ergonomics and maybe that larger desktop display because the notebook wasn't good enough. And then, security has been really big. Storage has been really big, along with, there were some shortages that occurred because of the increased demand, in the beginning that now are starting to be fulfilled and that type of thing. Additionally, there's a lot going on around things that you would, expect, such as, telehealth and, remote learning, things like, document cameras and, teacher devices and, within these pop-up hospitals that are, being set up across the country, things like signage, to direct people on where to go. And so we're seeing a lot of that around large format display and portable signage specifically, as well as, technology around carry out and delivery services and the management of that. And then, emergency management as well. So control rooms and those types of applications continue to be, have strong demand.
It's interesting because I feel like that you're going to actually be able to give a lot of manufacturers more ideas than they're going to be able to give you now for a while, because you're going to hear directly from the customer what they need, and you're going to be able to give manufacturers, partners of yours, good ideas for future products. Speaking of which, TJ, is as usual, you always seem to have perfect timing anytime you get involved with something, but you just launched COLLABSolv. And I mean, I don't know if you saw it coming or what, but I mean, tell us a little bit about that business unit and sort of how integrators can benefit.
Well, I mean, first of all, I would say that Sandi has really been the project leader on our COLLABSolv platform, and of course, I think we all saw this coming a long time ago. What I would say is that what's happened, CV-19 really has accelerated the collaboration significantly. You see what's happening. And so, I'll let Sandi talk about the platform, because she launched it a couple of weeks ago, or the company launched it a couple of weeks ago. But the timing, you're right, is really great because, well, first of all, I would say that, we look at our competitors and as well as our partners that are in the unified communications and collaboration, environment. We feel like we're much better positioned to leverage the overall, ecosystem, because we have such a wide variety of products, platforms, services, installation, engineering, and all of that come to bear. So the timing is right. But more than that, right about the time that we launched COLLABSolv is when we saw this, urgent need to be able to support all of our customers and partners. And so you're right, the timing was good, unfortunate, but good.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, again, what we've seen currently is around personal productivity. We've had a lot of discussions with our advisory council and lots of other customers. You're right, Gary. We're talking, I think you and I spoke the other day, we're, talking to customers and manufacturers all day long, every day about, what we're seeing in the market and where we can, position ourselves ahead of that to help our partners. Group productivity is certainly a big part of that. And so COLLABSolv was really, launched to bring a cohesive approach to the collaboration space. What we found was that it was very disjointed. And so certainly, we had an approach to, UC and traditional UC and the video space and the platforms and, within the different brands, lead brands, and the huge ecosystem that Synnex has. We felt that, sometimes, and actually we received feedback from some of our customers that, the message to the market was extremely disjointed. We're talking solutions, but we're selling products. We're talking solutions and we're, casting a vision of solutions, but then we're training and positioning on the product level. And it's hard for, our integrators to be able to execute on that well, right? And so that's where we really, kind of the vision for COLLABSolv came about. We worked, I'm leading the effort, but our COLLABSolv project team internally is over 40 people actually across our organization that that are responsible for various business units that are a part of collaboration, because that is how far reaching that technology and that business problem really is. So when we were talking just a minute ago about kind of what we've seen from a technology requirement perspective, the first wave, it's no surprise to us that the first wave was what you would expect and the things that you see and that you hear. And the next wave is more of how you support the connection and how you secure that connection as well. And so that's where Synnex would really feel like we're best positioned to support our customers from end to end in the collaboration space, and that's COLLABSolv.
Yeah, and I think a lot of companies were very focused on getting their people working and not focused on the security and the back end problems of getting their people working. And I think that's where you kind of have a benefit in the organization, because you come from a historical IT background, IT focus, understand the IT security protocols and issues. And it's interesting. I actually saw a group photo you took of the whole COLLABSolv team. It's like a photo you literally took celebrating the launch. And I was thinking to myself as you were saying that, I wonder if that's the last group photo that you get like that for a while, because all of you are so segmented. You're going to have to duplicate that on Zoom. But yeah, you do have a lot. It was about 40 people, but I'm guessing it crosses, it's not just AV, obviously, and collaboration products, but it crosses into the IT realm.
Yeah, it's voice, video, AV, IoT, mobility. It's big partners like Microsoft and Google that are quickly moving into the collaboration space. So, and again, that's why, to Sandi's point, we have such a big ecosystem, such a large ecosystem that we can bring into collaboration space. So we can help bring vendors into collab strategies as well as bring our partners in. I think that one of the results of the CV19 is we've seen a lot, especially the traditional UC players, were very reticent to move into from on-premise to off-premise, right, to cloud. And now they're forced to do it. And one of the advantages that we have with the COLLABSolv platform today is we can take all of our partners and they're asking their partners or their customers questions about what they need. And they can use us as the backbone to support the answer to those questions in providing solutions that they need in this new environment. And we're also, to your point, I think, and Sandi was saying this too, initially I think folks were just putting a solution together as quickly as they possibly could. And it was a little bit hodgepodge because there are a lot of allocations. So, you know, normally when you put together these kind of solutions, you want standardization, you want the security.
Right.
But unfortunately, you know, I know that we are constantly sending communications out to our partners about here's bundles that you can use for work from home environment. But every day we're changing them based on what was available and what wasn't available. So, you know, right now, as you know, I don't think that we, you know, are at a secure place from an availability standpoint yet. But now Synnex and our partners are looking, okay, the next step is how do we put the right solutions together? How do we make sure they're secure? How do we ensure we have the best technology available rather than, you know, using this headphone versus that headphone, or maybe using, you know, their headphones from their phones or what's ever available. So, you know, we think that right now we're preparing for that next iteration of these solutions in the work from home environment and other virtual environments as well.
Yeah, and even once we get back to a group productivity environment, right? And so, you know, making sure that we're prepared, you know, for that as well, and including things like financing. So we, you know, I think Gary, you and I spoke at InfoComm last year about the as a subscription bundles that we had launched around meeting space and digital signage. That's becoming even more and more important. And so, you know, the Synnex Financial Services team, which you've, you know, talked to before, they are doing a great job of putting, you know, creative programs in place with delayed initial payments and, you know, taking advantage of things like the SBA loan system that's out there now, and really helping our partners with that. Things like the CARE Act, you know, there's so many different funding streams right now that are available. And so in addition to helping our customers navigate supply chain and the solutions themselves and the training and the positioning and, you know, the operational side, we're also helping, you know, them navigate this, you know, kind of confusing time around finances as well. So.
Yeah, and I think that it's interesting because you have the ability to draw it all together in a unique way. I appreciate this conversation just because I learned a lot, but I also understand the complexity of this and the fact that you still, like you said, Sandi, at the end, everyone's eventually going to go back to the office. So you still have to think about what's going to happen when you go back to the office and how things are going to change. I remember meeting with you in your office not so long ago, and there was probably 10 of us in an office, probably 12 of us in an office that was probably better suited for 4 or 5. And now you're going to have to remove some chairs from that office because of this social distancing thing. Because you didn't have any, you know, you're constantly meeting. You don't have enough office, you know, you don't have enough offices like that. You don't have enough free space like that. So I think you're not alone. I think every company is going to be looking at re-engineering all their spaces. And part of that re-engineering is going to be a big influx of AV. And I'm glad to see we're part of the essential workforce because it says a lot about our industry. So TJ, thanks. Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Your few year, I think you were in Japan for a few years, weren't you?
Yeah. I was managing the Japan business for about 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and so welcome back.
Thank you.
And Sandi, thanks again. I appreciate this. You can learn more about the COLLABSolv group by going to Synnex.com. Do you have, by the way, Sandi, do you have a direct URL for COLLABSolv yet?
We do. It's just /COLLABSolv. And then you can also reach out at COLLABSolv@Synnex.com.
Okay. So COLLABSolv@Synnex.com. That's COLLABSolv at Synnex.com. Synnex.com/COLLABSolv. Again, COLLABSolv. Thanks again. I appreciate both of you being here and stay safe, stay healthy.
Yep. You too. Thank you very much.